Hey guys, hello and welcome to another video of Power Automate today. So in today's video, we will be seeing how can we create tables in Power Automate and how can we create table with Copilot in Power Automate, right? So in order to go to the table section or in order to create tables, we just have to go into the Power Automate, and then if it is not visible here, you click on more and then you can click on tables. Once you click on tables, you will be able to see this kind of power apps, right? And here we have the tables. So in tables we have some options like create tables, and then we have option to import the table, and we can also export these tables and analyze them in the Power BI. We will be seeing all the things, but in this video we will be seeing creation of new tables using the Copilot and importing the tables through the Excel file, right? So I have already created an Excel file where I have given a schema of tables, right? So here I have three columns, namely machine name, status, and GUID, right? So what I'll be doing is I'll just close it, right? Okay, and I will go here and I will just import the data from the Excel. So once you click on new tables, your options, this kind of option will appear. Start with Copilot or from SharePoint list, import from CSV or the Excel file, or you can create them manually also. We'll be seeing today these two options, right? So I'll choose this and select from the device and the output and then open. Right now, if you click here and view data, right, so here you have your data created. Now if you see, but the one thing you can see is your column names are not correct. So you can give a column name, right? You can give the type of the value it expects. You can also apply a lookup from another table, right? Oh sorry, I haven't saved it. I'll just give it the machine name, right? I can just mention that okay, this must be required and must not be blank, right? So I'll just give 2 1, and here I'll just give the status as online. I'll change this, the name of this column as status 8, and then here I'll give GUID update, and I'll just give a GUID, right? And if you want, you can add a new column, or you can delete rows, add rows, or you have the option here to mark the first row as headers, but all the way we have renamed the columns already, right? From here you can just rename the table, what is the display name, and then you can also mention what should be the primary columns, means the column should not be blank, right? So this is the schema name. We will be seeing what the schema name will do, and how the values will look using this schema name. For now I will just give this table name as check machine statuses. Just save, and now if you see, my name of the table is being changed. I'll save and exit. Now the table what we have created, we will create a similar table using the Copilot, right? So you click on this table option and just click on this start with Copilot, and you describe what the table you want to create. So I'll just click right, create a table with column names as machine name comma status and the unique ID, right? I'll just click generate, and let's see if it is able to generate the table which looks similar. Okay, so it has created a table. Let's see the data. Okay, now if you see, it has the machine and a status, although it does not created a unique ID. Okay, but we will see a machine. Okay, it has all the machine names, and then it has a relationship with the status table, right? And it has the definition of the this status name. So this is how, this is how the AI works. So this is how the Copilot works. This is how you can create these tables, right? And I'll just save and exit. But before save and exit, I'll just view the data. This is okay. The unique ID is also okay, although I can rename this, but then let's leave it as it is. And okay, the name is relationship. I'll just name it to machine relationship, and I'll just save it. Save and exit. Now my table is being created. Now we will see how can we utilize these tables in our flow, right? So I'll just create a new flow called Copilot and manually create. Right, I'll go with my favorite old designer and new step Dataverse, since these tables are always being stored in Dataverse. And we have the option of list rows from selected environment and list rows. The difference is, from selected environment you choose to select the environment, and in list rows the default environment is being selected. So we have created two tables, if you remember. The name is check machine status and other is the machine relationship. Let's see the machine status. If you want to, give the column names, you can give the column names. For example, if I search in my machine, right, in this, so if you see this machine name, this is not the original name. Instead, the name is this, so I'll just copy this, and you can give the name as like this. So what this will do is, this will give you only the machine name column. Similarly, if you want to have another name, for example this, go into edit column, create it on, and you can, with the comma separated, you can give it like this, right? Filter row, if you want to, you can apply filter. I have already made a video on how to give the filters, right? How can you give the filter? And on here is filter, for example EQ, and then if you check, the format is date time. For example, the format is like this. You can just copy this one and paste it into the single quotes, for example like this. So the date, the rows will be filtered based on this criteria. You can also give the contains, right? How will you give contains is, so you can give contains and created on like this. So first column name and then the value, right? If you want to, sort the column by some column name, we will see how can we utilize these value, although I have explained in the AI builder video. Now row count is how many rows do you need, right? You can give a maximum of, default is 5000, and this limit can also be increased from the settings, although I will just give here the 10, right? And I'll just save it and remove this. And I will also remove this since I need all the columns. Test. Okay, now if you see, your output is being generated. If you see the output, we have a lot of rows. I'll just open a notepad file to show you how the data will look, right? So these are the initial things. This is in the JSON array format, right? So these are the initial things which you will find in every table, right? And then the value, original value of the table from this will start from these values array, JSON array format. If you see, this array is being starting, and you have a type, and in type you will see the unique name which I have shown you just now, right? The machine name, right? And then you will see the org ID, you will see the the ID of the table, and then you will see the, these are the default columns which the Power Automate has itself created, right? And now if you see the columns which we have created, I think, three columns, right? And if you see below, see here we have the first column called CRCFFGUID. Here we have the GUID, right? And then we also have the machine name, right? And then, so these are the columns. Now this is the first row. If you go into the second, this is the second row starting in the curly braces, and in the last our array will end. And if I show you here, the array is ending. So we have although 5-6 rows in here, but you can check, you can create your own flow and check how these array will look. Now we will see how can we extract the values, these values, back into our Excel file, right? So this, I'll just close this one. For now I'll just save it to some name, right? Now in order to export this, I'll just click edit, right? And I'll add a new step. So what we need to do here is we need to export this data into Excel. I have performed this task a lot of times, more than 100 times. I have shown you in most of the videos. We already have how to export these data, JSON array value pair into an Excel or into an CSV. I'll be showing today a bit different into an HTML table. The steps are almost same. There is only one difference, which is a data operation. We use CSV and we use data HTML. Both input and outputs are same, right? So we have the list rows. We have our values in these format, right? And then now what we will do is we will choose a select operation, right? In the previous video, I have already told you what select is for, right? And it takes the input as a, it will take the array as an input. And if I go again, our array is, it's been starting here with the value. So I have taken value. Now I will take, write the column name. I can give any column name, machine status, or I can give the machine name here, and then I can just search with machine name. Here I have my column, right? And then status of machine, and here I can give the status. This is not our column, this is being generated by the Power Automate, but this is our column which has no value, right? You can also give any other column. I'll just give this to, or and I will see. And now if you test it, it will give you a, array variable, right? Select will give you a variable, and then I want this into an HTML, right? So, or you can choose CSV also, but for this time I'll use create HTML table. So create HTML table, you can give the output of select simply, right? Automatic, it will take the columns automatic, although you can give the values here also. I'll just choose automatic, and let's just test it and see the. Okay, so it is very quick this time. Create HTML table is being created. If you see the output of select, it will be a array, and if you see, it has the date and the machine name 5 and all that things we already have. And if you see the table looks good. The machine name and the status of the machine and the date, it is telling me. Now you can do all the operations in here. For example, if you want to filter with the machine, right? If you want to filter with the status of the machine, you'll get all the machines, the online machines, right? So this is how you can export this into a table. And in this video we have learned how can we create the tables in Power Automate, right? So into the next video we'll see how can we in real time, in a real Power Automate scenario, how can we check the status of our machine. So this is just a primary video for the next video, right? So that you will get familiar with the tables, how the tables looks, where we should be looking into the tables, right? So stay tuned for the next video. Till then, bye. Happy automation.